Today we're going to be looking at the top meta cards in Ligue 1. We did the Prem last time and the video will be at the end on the end screen. So make sure you make all the way there. Let's have a look at it then. So we've got a few players here, Lacazette being the number one. And I think this card for me, whenever I've played against him, he's been absolute dynamite. A 5-star, 4-star, 5-9 high. He just naturally is a very good card going forward. Obviously having the upgrades into the 5-4 is perfect for him. He is a winter wild card as well. I think in terms of price, we're looking, I want to say, pretty high for him. He's coming in at 258. To be honest, it's not necessarily the worst pricing I've seen. I've definitely seen a hell of a lot more with obviously some of these players. But I think for 258, strikers are going to be one of the most expensive parts that you will just pay. You have to pay for them. Sometimes you don't necessarily want to splurge out too much. But in terms of a striker, that is personally the position I would go all in on. Yes, you do want a good centre-back. If you can afford a Maldini, you've got your strikers up top already, then yes, you do need every position to be equal. And the greater the expense, sometimes, the better they are. With this guy, obviously, the composure's nice, pace is good, it's got a good finishing on him. With obviously a chem style, you're looking top dollar. In the next spot, and you just know this guy's got to be everywhere. Even if you look at just naturally his normal card, his special card, from his Centurions, he again is unfortunately incredible, and that's just a credit to him for an 83, very much like the Furlan Mendy. It doesn't matter what portion of the game you're in, he just seems to crop up everywhere, and as soon as he loses that little bit of relevancy, he gets a special card. He's got an 86 that is coming in at 435. This card is absolute cheap as chips and will still do a semi-good role. If you're against the top of the top, if you're against an R9, if you're against an Mbappe 94, then fair enough. You will find it tough no matter who you put. But Kimpembe has always been a very, very solid player that you can get in your team, and is very cheap. I think at this point he was upwards of 50k at the start of the game. Now he's barely over 5k. So he is always going to be one. If you are either brand new to the game or just want to make a Ligue 1 squad, this guy's got to be somewhere in the mentions. Him and Marquinhos are still a wonderful partnership. And also, the PSG lads are coming out in force with a Nuno Mendes. Again, a very cheap left back you can get now, and most definitely gives you the pace, has that 4-star weak foot to add a bit of flair to him. Unfortunately, still doesn't quite live up to Furlan Mendy's sort of level, but most definitely for Ligue 1, one of the better left backs you can get. If obviously you're looking at the pace element of him, it's very nice. You've then got a bit of defending and physical, which you definitely want to go more of an anchor with. But we've already got semi-good dribbling. The agility balance is nice. Little bit of passing. And for the cheap side of stuff, not a bad card whatsoever. I recommend using SkyCoach at skycoach.gg. Link will be in the description, and make sure on your checkout to use the code JT11 for a discount on your order. And if we take a look at some of the other left backs you can get, there isn't many. And this is why Nuno Mendes comes in quite nicely, because literally, other than that, there is no others. Left wing back, I think you've got Tagliafico. Again, you look at you need a higher version of him, really. You're looking more towards foot birthday, anything like that. I think this one is just a standard team of the week. We then have a couple of others. Klaus was obviously or was it the other side? Was it the other side that you got him? I want to say you did get a Klaus, I want to say, but I can't remember which one it was. Oh, you did, yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we got one with the objective. Obviously, that one was technically free, 99 passing. I believe he cannot be left back, so adds a different dynamic to him. But in terms of left backs, Nuno Mendes is the one to go for, to be honest, especially running a whole just Ligue 1 squad. If you're not necessarily going for a Portuguese squad or a French squad, then obviously he's going to be the shout. If we go and have a look at some of the centre-backs, Marquinhos, again, always cracking card right now. He's got a few versions that you can go with. The road to the World Cup is always going to be the better one, just purely on kind of stat-wise. But most definitely, even if you went for just the 89, the upgrades are still absolutely there. And I think Sergio Ramos always in for a shout. He's very early on into the game now, but again, like a Scream PK, he has similar vibes. I feel like we will see maybe a FUT birthday or a later promo Sergio Ramos, because there's no way that they don't kind of utilize his last couple of years to get as many cards out for him. He's an absolute icon in the game, and most definitely, if he does come back as an icon, he will be a phenomenal one. 3-star, pretty standard, good pace on him, having a big pace increase from obviously his previous version, his 83 or 84 I think he is, and then obviously defending physicals are top dollar. We've got a normal Marquinhos, it's a pretty standard. I would, if you're going for the road to the World Cup, most definitely, you could still argue gold is there, but I think there is plenty of others that you'd go for over him. Buy an incredible SBC. Most definitely one of the better ones that you could have got during the Winter Wild Card. I don't know, we didn't even get him. Unbelievable. I thought I might have actually got him, but I could have been wrong. So in terms of them, and as well any others, you've obviously got Fofana in here. He most definitely is more of a CDM in my eyes, which is what he can actually be changed into, and he's an incredible one. So he would have been someone I'd talk about later, but most definitely from the out of position, I'm glad that they gave him the option for a CDM still, because most definitely that would be the position I'd go for. He's got great dribbling other than the agility balance. Defending's not bad with a chem style of a Shadow. You're definitely looking at a very, very nice CDM. Leadership on the qualities as well. Kimpembe, like we already spoke about, this card is absolutely phenomenal, but 430k, again, a little bit pricey on him, but I think it's worth it. I think if you're looking at Ligue and centre-backs, I'd say Kimpembe, especially that version, has got to be the top. Marquinhos is very good, but Kimpembe is more meta relevant, and even the gold card would still give you that same sort of vibe now. In terms of right backs then, we did see obviously Klaus was there. Wouldn't necessarily say he's meta relevant in terms of kind of what you got. He's got great pace, the passing's like a nice little touch because of the Winter Wild Card, very much like the Adidas promo. There is upgrades to the max with them. Defending wise and physical, you'd be looking at an anchor really. Would get semi-good defending physical. For a free card, not bad at all. But in terms of meta, I just can't see it personally. But I think the big one is obviously going to be Hakimi. This card is absolute sauce, like genuinely incredible. He's currently my right back in the game, managed to get him untradeable during the World Cup Phenoms, and most definitely will run the side as far as I can get him really. A 4-star, incredible pace, adds a bit of defending onto him with either a Sentinel. You could go an anchor if you really wanted to, because obviously the strength and aggression, not necessarily incredible as well. Composure, probably the big thing that could have done with some work, but maybe if we get a team in a season of him, then we could look at a really, really top-end Hakimi there. And other right-backs, Fabio doesn't look terrible, to be fair to him, I will say that. Good pace, defending's nice, 3-star, 4-star. We've got long throw-ins, which, again, I don't personally utilise. The dribbling side of stuff is way better. Like, that is an incredible amount more composure. The balance is awesome. It is a very, very top-end sort of right-back that you can get for cheap, and you also can play left-back and right-back if you are needing that sort of role. Other than that, Traore has got himself a CDM card, which I personally think is way better, and Hakimi most definitely still comes very, very relevant in his gold card, mainly just for the pace element of stuff. I think Walker's kind of very similar. It's massive kind of emphasis on the pace, and everything else is kind of just above average to average now, so obviously a chem style is definitely needed. If we then go into the midfield then, so we'll look at CDM first, and I think the big thing with Ligue 1 this year is they have got so many good midfielders. Very, very cheap and also expensive midfielders that you can go for. If we look down the list, I think you kind of don't see the 83s and below really, but most definitely the top list is very nice. Sissoko, a decent kind of defensive slash box to box, but obviously the shooting has taken a massive hit. So you would kind of have him more as a defensive box to box, somebody who kind of runs forward, but most definitely doesn't go for the shooting, because unfortunately they've just absolutely stuffed that. A Shadow gives him what, 90 pace, probably like 88 defending. Again, solid. He's got the physicality side of stuff, passing's not bad, and a good amount of composure. If we then look at Traore, this is a very, very nice card. Out of position, if he had the 4-4, we'd be talking about this card a lot more. High work rates, which is always perfect. Good amount of shot power if you really wanted to. The passing's nice, dribbling's solid, defending's good, and physicals are very, very top end as well. You're looking at a good chem style, team player leadership and long throw-ins. A very, very nice card. And I think this was one of the cards everybody got from the draft rewards. So again, not bad free card. Guendouzi, on the other hand, 4-star, 3-star. We're looking at a 6'1", medium high, so very much emphasis on the defending side. And as you can see, incredible short and long pass. Dribbling's looking good, could do with a bit more balance. Defending, 84 and 86 physical. Again, you cannot argue with some of these cards. Daniel Pereira, one of the lesser ones I would have said. Obviously he's got more sprint speed than acceleration, and with his dribbling, it's the agility balance that lets him down. You would be looking more so on an engine, if anything, just to bump up the balance by 8, get a 4 on the agility. Won't do a huge amount, but most definitely the defending and physical side of him is actually top dollar. Great strength on him, everything in the defending above 87, bar from the slide tackles, but realistically, how many times do you slide? It's very last-ditch effort if I'm going for a slide, or I'm just taking them out from behind if they're through on goal. Other than that, I think everything else is perfect for him. And then obviously Fofana, very, very nice. It is such a shame this guy didn't get a 4-4. SBC managed to get the plus on it. He can be CM or CDM. Good pace. Dribbling's nice, defending's nice, physical's nice, good short and long, and you'll see a running theme with a lot of these cards. As you can see them going through, a lot of them have semi-good passing to very good passing, with obviously Daniel Pereira looking nice. Then the dribbling kind of goes through up and down, as we see the agility balance on some of them are very, very weak, but most definitely all at a certain level. And then the defending and physical on the topper cards are coming in really, really well. Personally, if I had to pick two, I'd probably go for Traore, and I'd probably go Pereira if I've gone Traore. If I've gone like someone like Guendouzi and I want more of a balance too with the pace, I'd go Guendouzi and Fofana. So in terms of centre mids, we've got a few here. Verratti as a brand new one. I think this card is coming in at a top dollar price. 526,000 coins. A 4-star, 5-star, 5'5", so very, very small on that side. Great acceleration, positions looking good. Not really a finisher of the game, most definitely more passing and dribbling orientated. And I think he reminds me very much of a Modric-esque sort of card. He's necessarily not going to be the finisher, but most definitely will be able to get them assists. The passing's absolute elite. Everything above 93 is which what you need, and the dribbling is top level. Very quick on the turn. It's got a bit of defending on him as well. You'd look at something like a Shadow and you've got yourself a relatively solid midfielder there. A Shadow would, for instance, give you 93 pace, 90 defending. That is a top card. A 92 CDM on the overall. If you're going for an anchor, which is what is suggested on Footbin, again, still 92 CDM, but you get 89 pace, 89 defending, and 84 physical. So for me, a top card, and hopefully we continue to get another one, because I think if you got above this card now, you're looking at a very good midfielder in Ligue 1. Other than that, Renato Sanchez always brings the bills. A 4-star, 4-star from his one to watch days, and most definitely will be a relevant card until the game is over, or he just stops getting ones to watches. Hopefully he does get one soon, because I feel like he's not necessarily coming out of relevancy, but most definitely now needs a refresh, needs something new for him. An 87 and 88 would be a great touch for this card if he doesn't manage to get into an out of performance promo like a FUT birthday. Because if you got a 5-5 of this guy, he would be in everybody's teams. 90 plus rated, he's going to be an absolute just unit. You get the defending on him with a Shadow, or you go with an anchor. Either or, I would probably go 100% in that Shadow, and obviously you've got yourself a nice card. Centre mid-wise, other than that, I probably wouldn't go for too much. A 3-star, again, he's got relatively good stats, but unfortunately he's not really gonna fit in that much, in my opinion. If we're looking at cams, I feel like this is again where we step up the level. Messi, Neymar are as good as what you pay for them. They are top dollar. We then look at Payet, and I think personally this card, and I will go on record, is the best SBC card I have personally used in the game right now. He is an absolute monster up front. I've used him predominantly rivals and FUT champs only, and he's going up with Mbappe. Mbappe does tend to score a lot of the goals, but Payet is absolutely crucial in that striking role. He can be cam left wing or striker. 100% get this guy up top, because most definitely he was incredible. So if you didn't manage to finish him, hopefully they will give us a what is it, what's the word called? The SBC, it is called I'm thinking of the word, it's got loads of promos in it. A party bag. I knew I'd get there eventually. It's because they don't call it that. But a party bag where they basically release all of the SBCs back into an SBC as such. So you've got one pick or pack where you could potentially get him. It's not unfortunately guaranteed, but without them re-releasing the SBC, there is no other way of getting him back. But he was an absolute diamond to do in the game. He was genuinely worth every single penny I spent on him, and I think he was only 300k. Okocha and Govu, not really seeing them too much, and the same with Abidi Pele. They are very good, but I think for the prices what you're looking at, especially for Okocha, I wouldn't say they're necessarily worth the value. I would 100% go and get an Mbappe or somebody like that. Obviously, Payet does have a previous version as well. I think, did he get an upgrade on the skill? He didn't actually. So he's got 2 more pace, 2 more shooting, 5 more passing, which is good, 4 more dribbling. So there is actually quite a good upgrade, and obviously the Santa Hat always adds that bit of value for a dynamic. Harriet, 5-star, 3-star. The 3-star is a little bit lower on that side. Agility balance is nice. To be honest, not a bad cam, but again, is not necessarily going to be incredible. And I think he is actually completely gone from the game. Left mids, let's have a look, because I know left mid, left wing. I knew there was 2 at least. Ginola is Ginola. I think he's still coming in at a whopping price. I genuinely think he was... he's coming in quite expensive still. 1 million coins, 5-star, 5-star, hoping for a reboot from him. A team of the season, team of the year, whatever they want to do. Shapeshifters, captains. Hopefully we do see another Ginola, because this guy is just levels. Absolute levels. We saw him last year with a Shapeshifter as the 98, and we saw him rival pricing of R9, which is very, very difficult to do. He is just what he is. He's absolutely incredible in the game, worth every penny. Simon, cast your mind back way ago. Road to the knockouts. He managed to get up to an 86. This guy is very much like the Adama. Pace-wise is just beautiful. He has got the agility balance, which also adds a great feature to him. He's not necessarily known for his very intricate dribbling, but most definitely the pace is just phenomenal with this card. Again, another very cheap beast. Other than that, we will speak about Terrier in a second, because we're going to go to the left wings. And again, the 88 Terrier, we've managed to get a road to the knockouts, which obviously was in the team. We got a player of the month that was sensational at 87, and then, well, now we have a Foot Centurions, which is now an SBC and is a must go and get. For the price he was, I believe I looked at him, he was about 50,000 coins at that point. Is a must to go do, honestly. His pace is incredible. His shooting's decent. He's got a good pass on him. Dribbling's nice. He's just got the full package of a left wing. Even got a few different traits. Finesse, shot, flair passes. I think for me, he has been one of the better ones we've seen progress through SBCs. Again, with Neymar and Mbappe, they are just phenomenal players. We know this. We don't really need to kind of go into them too much. We do have the Belgium left wing. Again, this one was... I don't think this one was I think this one was an SBC very late on. The only problem is that 3-star skills. The 5-star weak foot's beautiful. I think realistically, if he had a 4-star skills, this guy would have been a must to complete as well. Great pace, good shooting for a left wing, passing's on the average, dribbling's nice, and we've got a bit of physicality. And unfortunately, no traits for him. Other than that, left mid-wise, I suppose Pepe's not a bad one. 4-star, 5-star. Again, is he an SBC? No, he wasn't an SBC. So I think in terms of price, yeah, you're looking cheap as chips. Again, a nice one if you wanted to go for him. He's got very much similar stats to a Terrier. Obviously, the dribbling-wise, he's got great agility on him. Passing's decent. Shooting's nice. Great pace. Flair and finesse shots as the 2 traits. Nice little cheap beast that you can go and get into your team as well. Now, right mid side. So this is the messy side, really. You've got Diatta, who was a World Cup star. Again, can go get him. 4-star, 4-star. He's going to come in, I reckon he's coming in at a cheap price. He can't be anywhere more than 20k, surely. He is, unless was he an SBC? It might have been an SBC by the looks of it then. or I want to say actually he might have been the objective that I didn't finish. Again, if you've not done it, it's not too much sweat, because there is obviously a lot of right mids, right wings, cams, formations that you can go with. You obviously have Timothy Way, 4-star, 3-star, not really too much meta with him there. This guy was incredible from the start. Now he's kind of lost that little bit of relevancy in meta-wise in terms of being a right mid, purely because we've had so many upgrades, different cards that can kind of go into that right mid, right wing position. Unfortunately, he has stopped really being in anybody's team now. I did see him quite a lot at the start of the game, but in right wings, you're looking at one man, and that's one man only. Messi's flashback has done absolute bits for me. We have now got a Mahrez there from the Foot Centurions, but most definitely Messi is still able to do the work. Normally comes on as a super sub now. I don't know actually what his stats are for me. 105, 105. Again, I'd say that's pretty good from the right mid role. We used him as a striker for a very little time. Then we swapped to Ronaldo's flashback, put him on right mid, and to say that he's got 105 contributions on each, I'd say that speaks volumes for itself. And again, a little bit expensive when he did come out. Other than that, I think the right wings are pretty stacked at that, to be honest. We're looking at Ito. Barkley's other version was way better in my opinion, and Pepe has a different version. And that really then takes us on to the top dogs, into that centre forward role as well as a striker. We've then got Messi as his team of the tournament. Again, it's very, very expensive. I think that card is coming in at a price and a half, but again, you can kind of imagine it, mainly because the dynamic is just beautiful. You will, well, you never know, but I believe that will be the only card that you will see with a World Cup and a Messi on it. Realistically, if I'm being real, if they go back-to-back World Cup champions, fair enough. But what are the likely chances of that happening? 4-star, 4-star, he is coming in at 1.8 million coins. I think one of the most expensive, other than Mbappe's 2 cards. Again, he will give you everything. Boufal. This card is an absolute gem, like genuinely a gem. 4-star, 5-star, 5'9", finesse and flair. We've then got the acceleration, decent shooting, dribbling's very nice, bit of stamina on him. Obviously the passing's pretty good. We whack a hunter or anything like that. He is an absolute gem of a card in obviously the Moroccan nation for Ligue 1. This guy's coming in at 35,000 coins. You whack a hunter on him, 97 pace, 89 shooting. It speaks for itself, because that is a beautiful card. And obviously, we go into the strikers now. So Mbappe is Mbappe. The gold card is still just as good. He will give you every ounce left in the game. He's still coming in at a price and a half. He's coming in, yeah, 720, 730. What I did want to see is what has mine done, because we've had him from very, very early on. 872 games, 720, 458. Some might be squad battles, but most definitely not a lot, because we did the 500 goals and assists with somebody else. So pretty much throughout the game span, he's done pretty well. He's got more goal contributions than obviously games, and a lot of the time he's been in friendlies where you get a 1-0 and they've gone. So I would say in terms of records, he's done pretty well in terms of that. Other strikers you can get obviously a little bit cheaper. Well, I say a little bit cheaper, and then I look at Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder is just phenomenal again. He will give you every ounce. I think in terms of this one, he is very expensive, but most definitely has other versions that you can use. 370 for this one, not bad at all. 27 if you wanted to go for the 86. Again, he's always got that body composure, the work rates, everything works really well for him. He's got the high-low, 4-star, 5-star, a lot of good traits, leadership, finesse, flair, and outside of the foot, as well as team player as well. He's just one of them cards that will always do well in FIFA. He's just naturally got the body, the stats, the everything for him. We've already spoke about Lacazette. We have a World Cup stories, or history makers, in fact, for obviously Mbappe. And then we've also got a few others. Barkley back in the day was not bad. David, beautiful card, great pace, shooting was nice. Did leave a little bit of not striking ability at times in terms of off the ball movement, but most definitely will score if you manage to get him in the roles. Other than that, I feel like he's kind of lost it a little bit. Openda, if you're going for cheap, this guy's not bad. Unfortunately, the 3-star, which is something we could hopefully see in the future. High-low is perfect. Great pace on him. Shooting as a finish in 90, can't argue. Agility balance is nice. As a cheap card you can get this guy for, he might actually be worth every single penny, because most definitely you're not looking expensive. 22,500 coins. He's a good card to get if you're looking for bog standard. Ben Yedder's gold card probably lost a little bit of value. And then Toure, it reminds me of out of position. This guy is 6'8", and he managed to get so many goals for me. It was unreal. And that is going to be the striking force in Ligue 1. We have gone through, obviously, all of the cards. There have genuinely been some very, very top-end cards. In fact, I didn't even speak about goalkeepers. There's one on my mind, and that is going to be Armand Donnarumma. I believe Lafont is always good, but he definitely needs a big upgrade to get himself into the limelight. But Donnarumma is always going to be fantastic. We managed to get his red from very, very early on, and he has not disappointed whenever he's gone between the sticks. So let me know down below what you think. Make sure you check out the Prem video down below, and hopefully you do have a good day. Peace.